Good morning and welcome to Church on the Net. Today, in accordance with Halloween, we're going to be talking about the first Walking Dead, which was at the death of Jesus. Most people don't realize this. There's a second time that happens when he returns, and people will rise from the dead and testify. But this was in his crucifixion. Now, you can find it in all four Gospels. And we've got one putting in the notes. But the dead actually rose and testified that Jesus was the Son of God, according to the scriptures. What do? Do we testify that he is the Son of God? Do we testify of his greatness? Or we just kind of ride along and hope that he's a magic genie in the bottle? It just doesn't work that way. And I've seen people put up thirst traps on TikTok, and, it seems like he's becoming popular again. And they don't have any real girth behind anything that they're teaching. Or they're putting up inappropriate things and relating that to the gospel. I got in trouble with calling people out on that about 10 years ago. And I'll do it again because it's not appropriate. You don't need a picture of yourself showing what God gave you to proclaim the gospel, nor do you need to have your shirt off necessarily. I think that we need to remember that he's a holy and a just God, and he deserves reverence. But with that, we also need to remember he's a powerful God. And if we put our faith and our strength in him, he will provide everything that we need in an abundance. Now, some people have asked me why these are so short and why I do them. So I'm going to tell the story because it's good to be told. I had a gentleman that I was begging to get to go back in church because one of our goals is that you become a part of a body of believers. That was before we became a body of believers ourselves. Church on the Net, we have a group that they consider us their church, and that's fine. But these were meant to give one simple point. Most sermons have 3 points. Some preachers overtalk them. I had a pastor that was my homiletics teacher, Brother Boyer, at Warner Southern College, who used to tell all of us, he said, none of you are Billy Graham. If you can't say it in 10 to 15, 20 minutes, you need to shut up and sit down. And I agree with that because most people's attention spans are gone, like most of yours are probably already gone already. The one point for this one is, are you testifying to what God has done for you? Are you testifying that Jesus is the Christ? No other thing, not the universe, not karma, but Jesus Christ is the reason that we live and the reason that we do what we do. So this gentleman, I had talked him into going to church. Now, he was a bodybuilder, and he's a big, tall, good-looking dude. And I asked him, I said, what are you wearing? Make sure your clothes aren't too tight, because some churches people get a little judgmental. After all, the church, if it's a good church, is a hospital, not just a country club. And he was dressed very appropriately, and he called me after service and said, I'm not going back. And this was a mega church. I said, well, what happened? He goes, all the guys were standing in the corner, pointing at me and looking at me, wouldn't talk to me, and all the girls were acting like they wanted to throw me down and make mad passionate. I'm like, I get it. Okay, I said, well, let me call the pastor and try it again. So we did. I called the pastor. The pastor said, how will I know him? I said, guaranteed he will be a head above most of the people in your congregation. Taller. And he's strikingly good looking, and he's in really good shape. He's a very modest gentleman. Okay, I'll look for him. So next week, this gentleman goes back, calls me right after service. I'm not going back. I'm like, well, what happened? He goes, well, some little old lady in her walker came up to me, didn't even know me from Adam, and told me I was going to die and go to hell because I was too vain. Now, if you know this individual, he's anything but vain. Most of my bodybuilders, the guys in our program that are into fitness and bodybuilding, post a lot of shirtless, sometimes, kind of borderline inappropriate, other than posing shorts, pictures. And I call him out on it. But this guy's very humble and even his approach to everything. So I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out an alternative. And Church on the Net was born in 2008 or 2009. Before the pandemic, when pastors told me, you can't do that. And we've been doing it. And this Church on the Net goes out to right around 7,000 or 8,000 people by the time it's done through its circuit. Because a lot of you, I hope, are sharing like you're telling me you're sharing, or you will share it. The whole point of it is to bring people into the house of the Lord, even for a moment. The devotions are set up that I send out. I know a lot of you get annoyed, but they're set up so that you will do them very quickly. They only last 2 minutes. And it's not a fact that I want it to be quick, but I don't want it to be boring. I want the Lord to be exciting for you. The devotions were set up originally by a music minister at the church that we went to in Monticello United Methodist Church, and it was an idea that we had for Easter to do devotions leading up to Easter, which we each took our turn. After that, I had quite a few guys in my youth group at that time that were in college, like, we want to do it because we have a program in our program that is it's called the Bible Reading Record. And basically, it takes 10 minutes to read one chapter and ask 3 questions. Where they're like, Pastor, and we don't have time to do that during finals. I'm like, okay, so let's do this. I planned it out with a picture, a scripture, and a thought. It takes 2 minutes to do, because you know what? When you go to the bathroom in the morning and let nature happen, that's all the time it takes. So there's really no excuse in not doing it and growing in the Lord. I don't think the Lord cares how long he gets you, just that he gets you for a little bit of time during the day and you focus on him and you're devoted to him. Then you grow from there. You grow from that process. So what will you do? What will your investment be? Now, right now, we're doing our fundraiser. We've had 1,500 gentlemen go through our program. And at the least level, I'm asking for $10 to $25 a month to help support our program. We have some serious Christmas things that we need to take care of. Plus, we're only like $500 away in support each month from reaching our monthly budget goal, which is coming out. And we're trying to raise $3,000 for this year for Christmas to help meet the needs of some gentlemen who can't. They may be in jail. And what we do is we buy gifts for their family and them, and we put them, not from the ministry, but from them. So if you'd like to support us, we have, we would love it. All the stuff is listed below. And to become a part or a partner of DLM, Deeper Level Mentoring, and reach men for Christ. Now, we do reach ladies too, but our main thrust is men because I'm a man and I minister to men. If you're interested in becoming a female mentor, just let me know, and we'll go over the criteria and the guidelines for that. I hope you have a great day. But again, Jesus' crucifixion was the very first Walking Dead. What will you do to testify? What will you do to testify of his great love? And I hear a lot of people say, well, I just live it. Well, that's living is fine, but you also need to talk it. Especially in the world today when so many people focus on so many wrong things. What will you do to take the gospel of Jesus Christ and reach people to the world? And if you can't do it verbally, live it, or help us to share it. I hope you have a great, great day, and I hope that you enjoy this Halloween holiday season. God bless you all.